But let's watch.
He heard it closing out on Etuan Moore.
Right oh, me. I've seen that before, but it's been years.
Right. That was the more gruesome one. Not as gruesome, but as maybe I built it up to be. Now here's the worst video of them all.
Uh-oh.
That we may have shown previously.
It gets worse.
Way worse.
Afterwards.
Look away. And she's like, wait a minute.
After growing up, the scariest part about that second one was growing up in a cold weather climate in the wintertime, if you don't wear your beanie all the way over your ears, they could still get cold.
That's
the problem is he was headed outside and that beanie was a little bit up. I bet the bottoms of his ears definitely caught it.
You think so?
Where were they playing? Oh, they were
New Orleans. That's why I'm looking up the weather.
It was better.
But like, what's up with the beanies? Not to sound like Larry David, but like beanies are in warm weather climates.
Well, in Southern California, they're always in because people here are never warm. If it drops down to 65 degrees, scarves, hats,
we went
gloves,
to the grocery store last night.
Fucking puffy coats come out.
She didn't have, girlfriend didn't have dinner. Go to the grocery store. I'm waiting outside with the dog. Hi, Carl. He watches our clips.
Yeah.
And we're hanging outside, and I see two people in a respective North Face coats and beanies. And they had them in the store walking out. And I'm thinking,
they wrap the scarves around their mouths and shit.
I came from Chicago, all right? When it's 40 degrees, the sunroof is open.
It is amazing. It's like a refreshing level of temperature, honestly.
Yes.
Once you get to 50s.
50s is beautiful. By far the best weather. Should we even talk about this?
Obviously beautiful. But no, this actually, the thought about, again, back to what happened with Steph.
Yeah.
The first thing I looked at right away, I was like, okay, Golden State won this game, but they only won by what, 7 or so?
Yeah, and they were down 21.
Right, and it was a few minutes left, maybe only a couple of minutes left. I was like, you don't want to play this way, but there was way too much time to not have him out there playing that aggressively. Because obviously it was an aggressive play that even reason why this happened. So you don't want to play thinking you might hurt some players because they've had they've had little nagging injuries here and there, but nothing that takes a guy out.
Of course.
This is the type of thing that they've been fortunate enough to avoid. When you win championships, yeah. I mean, certain guys don't get hurt and out for a couple weeks. The way it keeps happening to the Clippers, the way it happens, I mean.
Well, injuries are always going to happen, but I actually think you're feeding into this next point, which is a tweet from Drew Schiller. It says, Steph Curry had surgery on his right ankle in May 2011 and again in April 2012. Since that, we thought that these ankle sprains that he has suffered many, many, many times and ankle injuries were going to not only crush the Golden State Warriors, but also his deal with when it came about Under Armour.
Oh.
Where we were thinking, oh, well, the Warriors are gonna take a hit because his ankles aren't good and who knows how much longevity he's gonna have, and it's also gonna hurt his shoe deal. And he's continually proven us wrong, which I think is important to go back in history because how soon we forget. When guys are coming up, we always have these concerns, whether it's from a recruiting standpoint, the draft profiles off of like NFL.com, NBA.com, what have you, about the concerns and how they overcome it. And I don't think that we should ever forget that, especially with Stephen Curry.
Yeah, right after that came, I mean, because it's worth worrying because it's happened to countless others that careers were derailed. We just talked about Grant Hill yesterday. And so it's worth worrying about, but you worry too much, as I said at the beginning, if you worry too much and try and avoid it is when it'll happen more.
Yes.
Just play, the reason that they have these world-renowned surgeons and doctors is because they're there to fix you. Trust it and make it happen.
Dr. James Andrews, shouts out. How would you like to end this clip?
Oh, I'll tell you. Have you ever turned your ankle like that before playing ball?
Yes.
Horrible. Have you ever turned both of them?
No.
On the same fucking day?
No.
I have.
I figured.
I'm not lying to you. I turned my ankle like it wasn't as bad as that one, and I was being a tough guy, and I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, you tie up the top of your laces a little tighter, and you keep playing. I'd say 5 minutes later, a couple down and backs later, I turned the other one as badly, if not worse, than he did right there, and it was my whole foot and ankle.
You were playing at a public park, I assume, in LA?
I literally went home and I threw up.
Did you walk out with a beanie, though?
I didn't have the crutches. I limped my ass home. I was like 2 blocks from home. I limped home and I was in so much pain. I just, literally, I've never experienced this. I threw up from the pain. It was ridiculous.
You ever been hungover?
It was not like the pain of your body. I think I must have broken some bones in my feet. I never went to the doctor for it.
You ever been white girl hungover?
No, man.
You should.
I don't do cake stands.
Have you ever done a cake stand?
No.
I knew it.
I wasn't in the white frats in college, no.
Andy just gave you a look like, I fucking hate you.
Cake stands. Come on.
Let's talk about keg stands. Why haven't you done a keg stand?
Cake stands and flip cup, come on.
You haven't played flip cup?
I remember the first time I played flip cup was after college. I was like, is this what you guys been doing this whole time?
I have a serious question. Are keg stands like a white person thing?
Absolutely. That's what I just said. I wasn't in the white frats.
I didn't hear that
flip
part.
Cup, beer pong came way later. I said, fuck it, I'll play because now I'm 27 years old and these parties are boring.
And it made it better, right?
Well, yeah, but when you're in college, I mean, I'm not there to play games. So there's.
I want to answer that in so many different directions.
I know. I shouldn't even have said it. I'm not trying to disparage anyone's way of having fun. Saturday night to unwind from
you would never.
Midterms and finals?
No, not at all.
Not at all. But white folks do that shit.
Yeah.
What am I cake standing for? Because you know what I'm thinking next? I don't want to now put that same spout that you've been spitting all over back into my next beer. That whatever, maybe you halfway threw up while you're doing your cake stand. I don't know. I know there's points when I've seen people standing on the motherfucker and they start squirting beer out of the fucking place. I'm like, oh, that's a nice spot to pour some beer in my next cup. What is this shit floating in my beer?
Question to you.
Is it a couple of pieces of corn from your lunch?
You're being so overdramatic. Stop it. It's a party.
Are
you really thinking about this while you're drinking?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you were 22 years old? You were thinking like that?
I just saw shit flying everywhere.
You ever seen A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe?
No.
Of course you haven't.
No.
I was gonna say that movie's about you.
Also, when I'm drunk and I'm at like an outdoor game or tailgating and you have to go to the porta potties, I notice when there's shit and piss everywhere, just because you're drunk does not mean you have to sit in disgusting shit.
That's different. You know that because it's a porta potty.
And I know it because that's a keg stand.
This is a red Solo cup. Which, by the way, shouts out to red Solo cups. I would have never got through college without those. I mean, what a marketing genius, whoever did that.
Shout out to red Solo cups, but then because they somehow made everyone forget that when you have a red Solo cup that there's alcohol in it. If you go to the beach and you're trying to avoid the cops, in Southern California, you can't have drinks on the beach, except for like one or two, right? Is it okay? So just, I only know locally. Yeah. And if the cops were by, you're like, oh, fuck, because they can come around and they're gonna get you.
Yeah.
So you know what smart people do? They bring a bunch of fucking bright red Solo cups to the beach and go, I know how to hide my drink from the cops. I'm gonna put it in a bright fucking red cup that they'll never know has drinks in it because none of them went to college. None of them has ever had a drink and they don't know the drinks go in a red fucking bright ass cup.
Now you're stereotyping people who use red Solo cups.
It's stupid, but somehow, but shout out to Solo because they allowed people to somehow bypass that it's bright ass red.
Don't kill our potential sponsor.
It's an indication. So you know what I do when I go to the beach? I put it in like, you put it in a coffee cup. They're like, oh, nothing in there. Put it in a McDonald's cup. See, you know what's in there? Soda, the cops will think.
Here's the problem, okay? You've never seen Always Sunny. One thing that Frank Reynolds taught Dee was to drink red wine out of a Diet Coke can. So they get a big box of red wine, she pours it, and then she walks around everywhere. And no one notices, except the shrink.
And can I make this where everyone's gonna get mad at me? To the, the social factors of this world. You know why? We're gonna go back to the thing about the cake stands and white folks' college parties. Yep. Because if you have a red Solo cup on the beach, you're not worried about the cops coming over and fucking with you. Black folks, Latinos, I've seen us folks find ways to hide what we're doing because we're always getting pulled over and stopped and like, what's in your cup, sir? Like, shit. So you're not thinking a red Solo cup's gonna make any sense because the cops are always fucking with you anyway. You guys don't have to worry about that. Fucking dick privilege over here. I'm so tired of this shit. Can we cut this clip?
Technically, that's true because my real full name is Richard. Richard Privilege.
Richard Rich.
Dick Privilege.
I'll take it all back. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna do a cake stand later, just to make up for it. No.
We should get a keg at the holiday
Spit
party.
fucking beer everywhere.
Prove it.
And then see how many germs we can spread. Good time.